What's up, guys? Today we're going to be setting up this brand new APU, running a break-in. Usually takes about an hour, just running it, letting it get hot, letting it cycle its coolant, and then we'll drain the oil and put a new filter on it. This APU's got about 2 hours on it. That's just what they put on it from the factory. The first thing I did was take the cover off. You got your 2 3-lobes that hold the bottom on right here, and 4 1/2-inch bolts that hold the top on. And as I come in, the first thing I'd want to check is to make sure that all of the fuel lines are all tight, so I don't spray any fuel whenever I go to turn it on the first time. Now, when I pop the top off this one, these cheap little clips, I can't stand these little clips, but these cheap little clips right here, one of them was already off of this, so I've already taking and putting a regular clip on this one here so it would stay on a lot better. And the second thing I do would be to check both belts, make sure that they're tight. Sometimes from the factory they're not. Let's see, third, check fuses. This here's the main fuse. If this fuse is blown, it wouldn't run at all. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, that one's good. And then I check secondary fuse. This is for the cooling fan on the back of the APU. Oh, and look at that. Brand new APU straight from the factory. It's got 2 hours on it, and we've already got a blown fuse. Well, that's not good. That means we got to check the whole cooling system, make sure the fan's coming on right, and all of that. Alright, so grab another fuse off my cart here. We got a fresh one. Go in. So, you know what, we'll leave that out so we can see when it blows if it does. Alright, now we're going to check oil level. On the camera you can't really see it, but it is actually up there to the mark. It's might be a quarter, half-quart low, but that's not too bad. We're going to be draining this oil anyways. And we need to remove the main switch here on the bottom. Let's see if there's any. Let's see if we can see if there's any diesel fluid in the filter yet. It looks like there is. Sometimes these things have a hell of a time starting up first time around when they come from the factory, because the fuel comes from this tank here down a line into the APU, into dual filters in the APU, and sometimes if it's low on fuel, or if they've only run it the 2 hours at the factory and left it, all of the siphon will have gone back into the tank, and you'll have to take an air hose. And in that case, if you can't get it to run, you got 2 options. You can either take an air hose and put it into the mouth of the tank right there and blow air into the tank, pushing the fuel down the line into the APU. Or you can pop this little bleeder valve right here. It's a 10mm bleeder valve. You can pop this and just turn the APU over, keep hitting the button and turning it over until fuel starts spitting out from right here. But go ahead and grab my starter and we'll see if it'll start. Alright, so I got my little starter plugged in. I just run it through this top loop right here, and on the other side of this, it plugs right into the main here where we unplug the other one. And we can see if we can just get it to start. Alright, now we're going to let it run for about an hour. Alright, so it's been running for about an hour now. Right in there. We didn't pop another fuse, it didn't pop at all. It's nice and hot. Fan came on just fine. So I don't know, I don't understand why that fuse was popped, but it was a little bit low on coolant. I realized that after I stopped the video the last time, and it was a little low on coolant, so I added a little bit of coolant, but that typically wouldn't make that fuse pop. Typically just overload of power or running the fan for too long can make that pop. Meaning if it's really, really hot and the fan runs forever, then that could pop. Alright, now we're going to drain the coolant, or drain the oil. And to do that, just take this air filter off right here so we can get to it easier. And right back here is the 7/8 drain plug. Now these carrier APUs, they say they hold 4 quarts, but usually I can only get about 3.6 quarts in them before it's on the full mark. So, excuse me. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to change this filter out. I mean, I'm not going to go through doing that because it's just changing this one oil filter out right here. The fuel filters are good for the first 1,000 hours that it's running. But this break-in fuel filter here from the factory is going to be full of all the shavings and all the crap that just came loose inside the motor from it running for another hour, getting hot and cooling off, getting hot and cooling off. So change out this filter, drop the drain plug, and add some more fluid. That's about it. That's pretty much it for setting them up. They'll be ready to go for the first 1,000 hours of service on this Volvo V&L.